So we here with Alena Williams, aka Ms Willz. Say hi to the people.
Hey, how you doing? What's up?
So she was the winner of the last BBE showcase at Public Assembly. Shit was dope, I must admit. Walked away with some cash in your pocket.
Yes, I did. I was very glad for that too. Thank you.
So what are you working on right now?
Right now, I am working on an EP/album. We're working on the name and stuff like that. One of the possible names might be Cupcakes in Broadway. But we've got the Cupcake single out, so that's really what we're pushing right now. Cupcakes Part 2. You can find that video on YouTube. You can find that at Ms Willz on YouTube, /MSAWILLZ. And that's what we're really pushing. We're promoting the whole Cupcakes movement. My very first performance was, I would say, in 3rd grade at PS 127 in the assembly room. It was for the talent show, and I danced for that. So it was pretty good, got a standing ovation, so.
Oh, so you danced too, huh?
Not really. When I was younger, I did more dancing and stuff like that. But, I can dance, but that's not my forte.
Okay, a little more than grinding. You just can throw a little.
I can. You know what I'm saying? If a little something, a little 8 count, I could do that. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Got that.
Okay.
I would say Webster Hall. Webster Hall was pretty good.
Who was the promoter that night? Who was doing it? Was it Hot 97 or?
It actually was my event. It was the Cupcakes video release party. So I was a promoter, and another promoter, Ezra Xavier, was on the bill. But that was basically me. Everyone who came there was there to support me in Cupcakes.
See, people need to be taking notes. You threw your own video party at Webster Hall. That's kind of big. It was kind of big. Who is my biggest inspiration? That's a good question. Well, if you want to talk about rappers and stuff like that, if you want to talk about female rappers, because I'm a female rapper, I would say Eve was my biggest inspiration. She was who really got me into rapping, because when I was a teenager, I thought that you had to be talking some hard shit. You had to be talking about selling crack or beating niggas' ass and stuff like that. And then, listening to Eve's album allowed me to hear that as a woman, you didn't only have to talk about sex, and you didn't only have to be talking about selling drugs and stuff like that, but you could be talking about your real life and shit that applies to women in the hood and just anything about life, and make it sound good. So she was really inspired me. And then, of course, the big homie Jay-Z. Obviously, I'm from Brooklyn. I grew up listening to him, and it's just watching him go from a drug dealer to who he is right now is amazing. It's inspirational. So billionaire now.
Yeah,
really, that's. We was talking about that earlier. You still got to think about it. Get back to me. What's your favorite Jay-Z song? Yeah, right now we're gonna say "You Must Have Loved Me," but there's so many. Jay-Z's catalog is just ridiculous. There's so many great songs, so it's hard to pick a favorite. So. Right now, the music industry is very interesting. Before it was a lot about talent and stuff like that, and right now it's heavily based on image and who you know and stuff like that. And so it's hard to match the talent with the image, because a lot of the people who have the talent, they don't have the image, and the people who have the image don't have the talent. And unfortunately, right now, the image is what's getting you through. So luckily for me, I have both. So, I see there's a way. You got to find your way. You know what I'm saying? There's a way for you in there. It's just a different way of promoting. It's a different way of going about social media. The internet is big, big, big. It's heavy. Before it was a big record label pushing, and now everybody's indie, and it's about getting the distribution. You got to come together and put your whole package together before anybody's even going to take you seriously. There's no artist development or anything. Right. You got to bring to them, you got to say, this is a burger, here it is, here's the bread, here's the cheese, here's the lettuce, here's all the fixings. Not oh, here's a box, but there may be a burger in it. So well, that's hard because there aren't many female MCs out there. You know, that right now Nicki Minaj is really the only female MC that's making a name. Like, you know, we have Little Kim, we have Fox, we have Trina and stuff like that. But right now, Nicki, like, if you're a female MC as me, like, you get compared to Nicki. That's the first person they're gonna compare you to. And like, it's hard for a female to not only push sex, like to be, you know, lyrics and to be taken seriously for your talent once again versus your image and all of what you have to offer. So it's not much female, so I'm trying to come through and be that female to represent for females, for real females who have lived real lives. I'm trying to be that girl. Wow, so Go Crazy, I came up with that when I was working on my very first mixtape, which was called I'm Hungry. And that was over a Drake beat. It was over a Drake, it was like Drake's, like, one of his first freestyles, like, when he was coming out, and I always liked that beat. So, when I was just going through my tracks for my mixtape, I needed another club banger. And I had that beat, and then I was just in the studio, and I just vibed out, and that's what came up, like, Go Crazy in the club, like, Go Crazy. That's what people want to hear, good, happy dance music. And like, I literally wrote that record in like an hour, and then we just laid it down. And then from once I performed it, it was just took off. Like, everyone loved it because it has so much energy. So it's just, you know, partying, having a good time. That was the inspiration between that. Let's have fun. So
I know you got the
image, my brand is cupcakes. That's how I mark myself. I really sell cupcakes. That's the thing. Everyone asks me, like, so what's up with those cupcakes? What does cupcakes stand for? But I really do sell cupcakes. Like, my cupcake company is A to Z Edibles. And that's how I started off. Like, you know, I was tired of rappers always rapping about selling drugs and doing this. And I'm one person who tries to stay true to who I am and what I do. And so I really sell cupcakes. So I started out with the Cupcake song over Rick Ross. That was a remix. And I was just like, you know, he talking about selling dope. And I'm like, yo, I really sell cupcakes. I'm really out here in the street hustling. So I just remixed that whole thing about cupcakes and made a video. And it just took off. Like, it was just like when I really started selling the cupcakes. I had a catering company and we did all kinds of treats, cookies and different things. But the cupcakes is what was always coming in, the orders. So that became my brand. Like, once I made that video, I can't show up any place without cupcakes. Like, everybody wants cupcakes, and because the cupcakes taste really good, everyone wants them. So that's my brand. I'm the cupcake lady. So I'm very colorful, very girly, very, you know, very sweet, and that's my brand. The first thing I would suggest is learn the business. Learn the business of what you're in, because it's more business than it is talent. And if you know that, you'll be ahead of the game. Like, you need to own your name, own your masters, own your stuff, get your masters, have a hard drive. When you go to the studio, don't just go and record and say, all right, give me a copy and leave. Get your vocals, get your masters, keep that down pat. Like, know the business, because there's money to be made. Everybody just assumes, like, oh, it's the big things of, you know, getting a deal and getting signed. But you can get paid for shows, you can get paid for writing, you can get paid for your music. But you have to know the business, and you have to network. And the business relationships that you create will take you far. So you don't want to burn any bridges or anything like that. You always want to keep good, open relationships. You always want to go out, be seen, get your face out there, be seen at exclusive venues. Do what you got to do. Do shows, make connections, you know, follow up with those connections, because there's a lot of things out there that you can get and get done for you, but you have to show and prove. So go out, go to shows, obviously make good music, but know your business, pair up, you know, collaborate with other artists who have a bigger buzz than you, so then you can share their fans. You know, my slogan is taking over the world one fan at a time. So if you go to a show and there's just 5 people in there, you should at least be able to get 1 out of those 5 to be a fan, to come over to now want to follow you and find out about your music. So definitely have your shit together, your business cards, your flyers, your logo. Think about all that stuff. Spend some time in the lab before you just go out into the public and you have nothing to offer people. I'm honored. I am actually honored. Like, I really fuck with Blonde Boy Entertainment. Like, you know, I started from just coming by to a show, and then we've created this long-term relationship that I, once again, building good relationships I'd like to keep. So I'm actually very honored and excited. Can't wait to see this, that I'm the first person to be interviewed for Blonde Boy's website. So shout out to the Cheetah. Williams, you know, we got the Williams together in names, so you know we gotta be winners. And that's my brand. Like, you know, Nicki Minaj is a Barbie, you know what I'm saying?